27. That's the number of tips, advice, and life lessons contained within this very book, so pay close attention. Our journey begins not with some crazy idea for the next new product or a cure for disease, but with two brothers and a common goal, the idea of creative confidence. But what exactly does that mean? It's about believing in your ability to create change in the world around you. It's the conviction that you can achieve what you set out to do. It's a belief in your creative capacity. In a simpler context, creative confidence is like a muscle. It can be strengthened with time and effort, so it is our goal to help build that confidence in you. A poll of 5,000 reports that 80% of people see unlocking creative potential as key to economic growth. Yet only 25% of these individuals believe they're living up to the creative abilities. In other words, that's a lot of wasted potential. Creativity, it's a funny thing really, but what is it? In the Tibetan language, there is no word for creativity or being creative. The closest translation is natural. So if you want to be more creative, simply be more natural. It's easy as pie, and let's be honest, who doesn't love a good slice of pie? Perhaps the greatest aspect we learn from this book, though, is that if you have the belief that you can affect change, then you're much more likely to accomplish what you set out to do. It all comes down to how bad you want it.
In every innovation program, there are three factors to balance: people, who are desirable; business, which is viable; and technical, which is feasible. Most people assume that innovation translates into cool technology, but let's be honest here. Cool technology is not enough, or we'd all still be riding Segways and playing with robotic dogs. Instead, this trio of factors is what drives the ideas of design. To get to the stage of design, though, you must first learn to think more creatively. Creative thinkers tend to start wide and slowly hone in on their ideas until at last converging on the one idea worth implementing. Yet as simple as this may sound, there still seems to be one factor that imposes a great deal of threat to people everywhere: fear.
When people believe that they can change a situation and accomplish what they set out to do in the world, they undertake tougher challenges, persevere longer, and are more resilient in the face of obstacle and failure. It's called self-efficacy, and it's quite similar to creative confidence. People who have creative confidence make better choices, set off more easily in new directions, and are better able to find solutions to seemingly intractable problems. So what's the secret to success? Failure. If you want more success, you have to be prepared to shrug off more failure. In fact, it's almost crucial to success in innovation, because the faster you find weaknesses during an innovation cycle, the faster you can improve what needs fixing. In other words, failure sucks, but instructs. Creative confidence helps us overcome that fear, especially when you know you are bound to drop the ball, make mistakes, and go in the wrong direction a time or two. But you come to accept that's part of learning, and once you do that, nothing can stop you from progressing forward. An old proverb reminds us that success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. To learn from failure, you have to own it, to figure out what you did wrong and how to do better next time. Failure is nothing compared to courage, and courage is what drives innovation. When it comes to courage, there are barriers on both ends of the skill distribution curve. As a result, many good ideas go unexpressed, talent goes untapped, and solutions go undiscovered. Courage is only the accumulation of small steps. So let's break away from the struggles and see what's waiting to be untapped.
The creative spark needed to come up with new solutions is something you have to cultivate over and over again. But luckily for everyone here, we have some easy strategies to help you get from one blank page faster than you can say ABC easy as 1, 2, 3. Choose creativity. Just because you choose creativity doesn't guarantee that creativity will emerge. Creativity seldom follows the road of least resistance, but instead the path less traveled. So take the chance and go for gold. You either go big or go home. Think like a traveler. We've all heard that travel broadens the mind, but beneath this cheesy cliche lies a deep truth. When we travel abroad, things stand out, so we notice every single detail, high and low. By adopting the eyes of the traveler, you will begin to notice a lot of details that you normally might have overlooked. Engaged, relaxed attention. We believe deeply in the problem-solving power of daydreaming. It takes the pressure off the problem at hand and allows one to just kick back and enjoy life. As it turns out, our brains can make cognitive leaps when we are not completely obsessed with a challenge, which is why many good ideas come to us when we are going for a jog taking a shower, or even a long drive. Ask questions. The best ones begin with why, what if, and how. But more importantly, these types of questions can help brush aside superficial details and get to the heart of the matter. Build a creative support network. Creative people are often portrayed as lone geniuses or rugged individuals, but we found that many of our best ideas result from collaborating with other people. It's essential to work with a team sometimes in order to get further than you may have been able to get alone. With numbers comes power, and with power, more confidence.
Sometimes the hardest thing to do is begin taking action, but when in doubt, just remember one of our favorite little phrases, bird by bird. Those 3 words remind us that no matter how large the chasm, we can hurdle it by taking things one at a time. In fact, one of the greatest ways to hurdle any obstacle is to create prototypes. Yeah, there's an S in there. Prototyping is the act of experimentation. It gives you something you can show to and talk about with other people. But the real advantage behind prototypes is the process of trial and error. Prototyping lets you see more quickly what works, what doesn't, and most importantly, why. So don't be afraid to release your ideas out into the wild. Embracing prototypes and experimentation can help fuel the fires of innovation. And although they have a higher rate of failure, don't just sit back and let fear dictate your life. Take action and influence the decisions of others. As a wise man once said, if you don't like the news, well, go out and make some of your own.
Imagine a seesaw with a heart on one end and a dollar sign on the other. The heart represents humanity in the form of personal passion or company culture. The dollar sign represents the financial gains or business decisions that keep the lights on. The seesaw is a reminder to consciously pause and consider both aspects in the decision-making process. With society placing greater value on affluence and the privileges of wealth, sometimes it's hard to ensure that the seesaw stays at a level angle. So when faced with a trade-off between money and the heart, we believe it makes sense to consider both. Money will be easier to measure, but the heart lasts on forever. One of the great challenges of work is that many individuals get stuck within a looks good, feels bad sort of trap. They don't love what they do, and that can have a negative effect on their performance and overall happiness. We've noticed that people tend to have one of 3 views about the work they do. It's a job. It helps you pay the bills, but you only truly live for the weekend. It's a career. It's all about getting ahead in life. Bigger office, bigger title, bigger house. It's a calling. Your work is intrinsically rewarding in its own right. Our point? What matters most about your work is not the value that others place upon it, but how you view your work yourself. It's about your team, your dream, your passion, and your calling. Some still claim that it's scary to leave a job or career in order to pursue what you love, and that can be true, but it doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes the worst thing you can do is to play it safe, stick with the familiarity of the status quo, and not try at all. So if you appear to get stuck within that looks good, feels bad position at work, just learn some new skills. Start writing the new story of your working life. Keep searching for and moving toward a role that will feel as good as it looks, and remember just to enjoy life.
Teamwork is critical in achieving an innovative culture. Simple as that. To start building a culture of innovation, you need support from both the top and the bottom, aka the ground troops and air coverage. If only the top begins to push on an idea, it seems forced, and if only the bottom tries it, more than likely it gets disregarded pretty fast. So you need the perfect balance. The question becomes, how do you build creative confidence? It's easy. You begin with some karaoke. Karaoke, like creative confidence, depends on an absence of fear of failure and judgment. Very few individuals are ever truly that great at karaoke, yet it is a timeless classic across the entire globe. Karaoke is fun. There's no pressure if you screw up the words or are completely tone deaf. It's simply just a try your best type of activity. Next we have collaboration, which works especially well when members bring different backgrounds or perspectives to the team. That's why it's great to mix engineers, business people, and environmentalists together. Their contrasting views often result in a creative tension that leads to more innovative and interesting ideas. The most critical aspect of working in a team is language. Language is the crystallization of thought. What we say and how we say it can deeply affect a company's culture, so in order to alter these attitudes and behaviors, it helps to first change the vernacular. Instead of denying someone with a harsh no, we found 3 simple words that can benefit both sides as well as further the progression of solving the problem at hand. How, might, and we. In this manner, the entire game changes. Here's why. The how suggests that improvement is always possible. might lowers the bar a little, and the we establishes ownership of the challenge, making it clear that not only will it be a group effort, but it will be our group effort. So step back, take a deep breath, and visualize the bigger picture. Find the innovation within your organization, and then use what you have to grow and learn. Bird by bird, that's all it takes.
There are dozens of different creativity challenges to help your creative confidence grow, but instead of spending hours upon hours describing each one, we decided to choose just a few of our favorites to share. Push yourself to think divergently and creatively. In other words, create a mind map. Put the central topic or challenge in the middle of a blank page and create an array of webs around it. Mind maps are good at unconditional thinking, while lists capture the best answer. So in essence, mind maps help to generate ideas. Learn from observing human behavior. Sometimes the key to extracting valuable information you might normally overlook in human behavior is to just sit down and people watch, or if feeling good one day, stalk. The word has a negative connotation, but we guarantee that all of you have stalked someone once in your life. Probably through Facebook, you know that once you start, it's hard to stop. Warm-up groups. Perhaps the most fast-paced and effective method to creative challenges comes through the form of speed dating. Bouncing ideas off one another in a constantly rushing atmosphere really gets juices flowing, with greatness waiting to be discovered. Eliminate hierarchy to improve idea flow. Sometimes the most harmful effect within a firm is that of the social ladder. The king on top, followed by his nobles, followed by peasants in the shadows. By eliminating the assumptions of positioning within a firm, there is no longer the need to be worried about what you say or whom you say it to. Everyone has just as good a shot at the next big thing, no matter what level you may be in. Encourage and accept constructive feedback. This is perhaps the most important and hard to accept by individuals across the board. Nobody likes to be told they are doing something wrong, or that what they are doing is pointless. So try giving good feedback in the forms of "I like" or "I wish," and you will be surprised how effective a simple change in wording can be. But let us not forget that you can do one of these challenges on a Monday and completely forget what you've done by Wednesday morning. The real key is turning these challenges into habits, which according to psychologists take 21 days to form. So make it a date, circle it on the calendar. It's time to make a change.
Few people think about it or are aware of it, but there is nothing made by human beings that does not involve a design decision somewhere. Society pressures us towards ideas and behaviors that are appropriate or expected, but where's the fun in that? The rewards for creativity and individuality are well worth the extra effort. That's what creative confidence is all about. It's not something you can achieve by reading, thinking, or talking about it alone. It's accomplished through doing, through practice, through failure, and through passion. And while every person's situation is unique, everyone can find their creative confidence. Just as you gain fluency in a foreign language by speaking it every day, badly at first, but steady with progress, developing a creative, confident mindset becomes easier when you practice it regularly. If you are truly dedicated to what you set your mind to, you will become a pro in no time. The place to start is with you, the individual, so start by focusing on your own.
So set down the book, turn off the screen, get out there and start designing your new life. Through effort, practice, and continuous learning, you too can reimagine your life and career once you embrace creative confidence.